Hello, how are you? How's everything? I hope you're all doing well. Today we have social studies. And the topic we have in social studies today is means of communication. What is communication? Communication is a way of passing news or information from one person to another. A way of passing news or information from one person to another or from one place to another. For example, if I want to know what is going on outside Nigeria or in the world at large, I need communication to know. I need to know what is going on from one person to another or from one place to another. So communication is a way of passing news or information from one person to another. From one person to another. It could also be from one place to another. Then we have two major means of communication. Two main means of communication. There are two main or major means of communication. The traditional means of communication and the modern means of communication. There are two main means of communication. That is to say that we group it into two main parts. The traditional way and the modern way. What is the traditional means of communication? The traditional means of communication is the olden days method, the one that were used in olden days, like metal gong, smoke, drums, and whistle, fire. All these are the traditional way people were communicating with. For example, if there's anything going on in the village, they use the traditional means of communication then in olden days. But before I explain further, we are saying that communication is a way of passing news or information from one person to another. It could be by language, it could be by signs, it could be by talking, by teaching. Like I'm teaching now, I'm communicating to people. I'm telling people what is happening, what's going to do, and how to learn and how to acquire knowledge. That is by teaching. It could be by language, that is verbally. You are speaking. You are talking to that person and you are telling the person what to know about a situation. That is by language. It could be by signs, like all those special children who cannot speak, who cannot hear. There are people that can't speak. The dumb and the deaf, they can't speak. You use sign, they use sign language. That is non-verbal. They can't speak. You use signs to communicate with them. If you want to tell them come, you do like this, come. If you want to tell them go, you do like this, go. That is non-verbal. By signs. People are like that. They communicate with people like that. It could be by writing. When you are writing, like you are teaching, you are writing up points on the board. you are communicating. We are telling people what to do. So there are different ways we can communicate. It could be by speaking to people, that is verbal. Under speaking, we have teaching. We have teaching, we have talking, we have expressions when you are teaching. Teaching, speaking to people, that you can talk to people, teaching, talking, and so on. Then it could also be by signs. By using sign language. By using sign language, you make signs. For example, those who cannot talk, who cannot hear, you use signs to communicate with them, like the deaf and dumb, all those people that have hearing disability, speaking disability, they use signs to communicate. And I said there are two main kinds of communication. Of communication. One, traditional means of communication. Traditional means of communication, and the second one is modern means of communication. We have the traditional means of communication and we have the modern means of communication. What is the traditional means of communication? Traditional means of communication are the old method, the olden days method used to communicate. The olden days method. This traditional means of communication is no more common these days because we have a lot and lot of modern means of communication. Under traditional means of communication, we have traditional means of communication is the olden days method used to communicate. To people. Under the traditional means of communication, this is the olden days method used to communicate to people. What are the methods that they used in the olden days to communicate to people? They are, one, by town criers. Town criers are the people that go around the village, especially in the villages. They go around in the village if there's any festival activity or anything going to happen, or the chief or the king of that village want to celebrate or want people to meet with him, then he had to send a town crier. Somebody, it could be a young man, it could be an old man, going around the whole village, shouting and crying, telling the people that there will be a meeting in the king's palace, or telling the people that something wrong has happened in the village. The person will go around. They will send people around the village crying and shouting and telling people what the message is. That person is a town crier. Then we have iron gong, metal gong. Let's use metal. Metal gong. They have an iron gong which they use to hit. They hit the gong to draw attention of the people. That gong, when they sound it, it's like an instrument. They will be hitting it, calling the people out that they should come and hear what the message is. That is one of the traditional means of communication. Then we have smoke. Smoke. They set fire somewhere and the smoke starts coming up. They know that something is going on. We have drums. We have whistles. We have messengers. These groups are under traditional means of communication. The olden days method, what they were using long ago. But now, the second means of communication is modern means of communication. The modern means, that is what we are using now. And there are lots and lots and lots of modern means of communication that we use now. The modern means of communication we have the modern means of communication. That's what we are using, what is trending, what is obtainable now, in this time and age, in this generation. These are the modern means of communication. These traditional means of communication, some of them have been phased out. They are no more using them. Though they still use, even when you go to the rural areas, the villages, the suburb towns, they still use it, but not so much. The one that we are using now is the modern means of communication. The modern means of communication is the most effective and efficient way to communicate. It can be used all over the world. It can be used at any time. Such means of communications are, we have the television. When you are watching your television from DSTV, you can tune to all sorts of stations. CNN, America, UK, you can tune to African nations, you can tune to other parts of the world by using your television. Maybe you have DSTV, you have Go TV, you can tune anywhere. Go around the whole world, seeing what is happening in the world. In this time of, this pandemic period, you can listen to news, what is happening, how it's happening in New York, how it's happening in America, how it's happening in France, how it's happening in Senegal, how it's happening in Ghana, in Germany, by watching your television. So that is why it's very effective. Apart from television, radio is another means of modern communication. We have television, telephone. From telephone, you use internet, browser, you use all sorts of WhatsApp, you use Twitter, you use many things and know what is going on around the world. These are modern means of communication. You use Instagram, you use Twitter, you use WhatsApp, you use all combined for effectiveness of communicating. That is the modern means of communication. Television, telephone, radio, Twitter,
social media.
All on social media. Twitter is social media. Internet. They are all the same. All this Twitter, internet are all in social media. WhatsApp, all of them. All these are traditional, modern means of communication. We also have letter writing. People still write letter. Though letter is no more, letter is SMS. You send letter, writing your letter through SMS. Text message, you can send your text to anyone. And as soon as you do it, the message will go immediately. And the person will receive it. So these are the modern means of communication. Telephone. You can stay here and phone somebody who is in America and the person receives the call. Once there's network, the person receives the call now, and anywhere you are, you can get the message immediately. These are the modern means of communication, while these are the olden days traditional means of communication, like town crier. All those ones are not effective. They are not fast. This one is very fast. This one is very effective, the modern means of communication. Modern means of communication is very effective, is very fast. You can get your information, you can get news instantly and immediately. If you want to know what is going on in the whole world, you use this modern means of communication. But with this traditional means, you can't know what is going on in the whole world at the same time. That is the difference. There is difference between modern means of communication and traditional means of communication. They are very fast. They are very coordinated. You coordinate it very well. They are well organized. They are very effective. They are very useful. And it is what is obtainable now in this generation. It's what is obtainable. Everything goes on with technology, especially this modern means of communication. It is technology inclined. It is technology programmed. It's not just that these ones, they are not technology programmed. They have limitations. They have shortcomings. That's traditional means. There's only within the environment, while this one can go all over the whole world. Globally, you can obtain this. That is the means of communication. We have communication, kinds of communication, two major kinds, and examples of different kinds of communication, like I have listed now.